That's a little mess. Whoop. Oh, jeez. Ooh, it's gooey. It's all crunchy. Gross. Joys of working on stuff that other people's worked on. Ugh. I'm kind of one of those people who just can't say no to a big body. I know that may sound a little odd to a couple of you guys because most people don't like big body cars. Yep, I know. Guess you could say I have a condition, but I'm a big fan of them. Well, one popped up a few months ago and I had to have it. I bought it. It was at an auction and I was the last person with my arm up saying, yep, send it, bring it, come on, yep. Yeah. 3100, 3200, what are we going to do? Not saying I paid too much for it, but I paid enough for it. Don't really need any judgment because I get it all the time. And the guy who was outbidding me or trying to almost did, but that's it right there. I bought it. It's been sitting for its day to finally get pushed into the shop, and today is that day. This is a 1973 Chevrolet Caprice 4-door hardtop. It is the grandmallest green color you could ever imagine. Now, this old car has been in this town that I live in for a bunch of years, and the tag has been off the road since 2003. That's what, 22, 23 years or so since it's been tagged. It's in really good shape. It belonged to a local man who was an artist. And when it comes to 71 to 76 GM cars, guys, me and a couple other fellows around here, if there is one that's 3 counties around, we know about it. And this one, I never knew it existed. It was tucked away into a basement and then they drug it out for the auction and put it in a shed. And then that's kind of where I found it. I didn't even know the auction was going on. A friend of mine sent me a listing on it and said, hey man, you going to the auction to bid on that 73? And I said, what 73? I mean, yeah, I'm going. I mean, you want to go with me? Well, he said, if you're going, Tom, I ain't gonna fool with it. So guess you could say I fibbed a little, but it was totally worth it. Now here on the inside, we got a little bit of grass, but the interior is sweet. Man, it's sweet. Now looking around in there too, I found a couple of goodies that was actually in the basement. And they told me since I bought the car, I could get them along with it. This is a Caprice grill. You would be amazed at how difficult one of these are to find. Yep, wound up finding some more tail light housings, headlight bezels. You know, this little thing don't stink. It kind of smells like eucalyptus, for those of you who know what that means. But look at the door panels. This isn't original. Somebody's added this. The plastic here needs to be cleaned up and kind of re-dyed. Make something fancy out of it. Let's slide off here on the inside. Mileage shows to be 35,254. I'm going to say 135,000 miles. Oh, Royal Pine. Sweet. What else do we got? Keys. I had the keys. Man, I hope I haven't lost them. That's gonna irk me. Man, excuse me, guys. Man, I hope I haven't lost the keys. Nope. Look at there. Whew. That's so much better. Think it's gonna start? No, the battery's dead, of course. But I think I'm gonna try to get this thing up and running. Probably won't take too much. The tires are half flat, but it'll be all right. I know these cars inside and out. I've probably taken apart 50 of these back in the day to make them things. Demolition derby cars. So this would be a walk in the park. Hopefully. I probably shouldn't have said that because that might just accidentally jinx me. Well, y'all want to see up under the hood? Isn't that a good sound? Like, don't that just bring you joy whenever you pull on a hood popper and it goes ka-chunk? For those of you who know, when you snatch on a puller or a popper and it don't do nothing, oh man, that ain't much fun. We're gonna have to put some oil on this thing. Look at there. Yep, it's basically untouched. It really hasn't had much at all done to it. You look up on here, this thing is more or less untouched, other than he painted the air cleaner bright red. I bet I got one of those laying around that's still in pretty good shape. Heck, I think I got the one that come off Fat Stack, that old 71 Caprice that I rebuilt for that TV show that they wouldn't sell to me. So, let's see here. Clean that up. 400 2-barrel. Let's look up under there. Can you see that big monster? Look at there. Barely. You can see that monster. Whew. Well, gonna have to get a battery in it. Gonna have to fix the brakes. Gonna have to rebuild the carburetor, I'm sure. First order of business, getting the tires up on it and taking it from here to in there. We're over there. Hopefully these old tires hold air long enough to get it in the shop. That's what I'm hoping. Hoping. Come on, girl. There it goes. One up. 2 more to go. Boom. Good sound. Car's going up. Makes you feel better. I can smell the car from here. Guess it's outgassing. We're gonna overinflate this thing. Maybe that big old hard tire roll a little easier on that hard gravel we got. Oh man, that's leaking down already. Let's see if we can get the other one. Oh, it's the front one. Oh yeah, this one's going up. Not sure if you can see the car moving, but it's moving. That's awesome. A Sweet Talk Magic Mike into helping me air up that tire real quick. And then we're gonna give this thing the big heave-hove and push it. Hopefully it goes downhill and snakes right into that hole. Is it gonna work? But you gotta have dreams. Alrighty, let's see if we can make magic happen. I'm already out of wind. All right. Keep pushing. As dirty as mine is, they should be really, really wealthy. Whew. Come out here to grab my air tank. That car may have been there a little longer than I think. Well, either way, it's time to get her going. Ain't she a beauty? Just look at this thing. How could a person not like a 73 Chevy Caprice? Now, you may notice that it sounds like I'm chewing on a rock. I've got that cough, so I got something hoping it calms it down. But I don't know if it's gonna work because I'm pretty jazzed to be working on this big body Chevy. First thing we're gonna do is put a battery in it, and I just wanna see if the old car will wake up. Kind of see what's going on the inside and see if it even turn over. Yeah, now we also wanna see how much gas is in this thing. I'm trying to do the least amount of effort as possible, except for I am gonna put a kit in the carburetor. I'm gonna check out the coil or the cap and I'm gonna see how funky it is in there. But I'm not planning to put plugs in it. I'm not really planning to put wires on it. We're just gonna have to assess the situation and see if we can get this thing fired up today. Oh yeah, it's got points in it. Maybe it'll work. Awesome. It's like rounded off. Dang if it ain't. Stupid. Grabbing these channel locks reminds me of old Mr. Mark Chris, the guy that was on the show with me. That fella used to give me down the road about how I would grab these things to do so many tasks. He's like, man, why don't you get the right tool? And I said, I did. Got the channel locks. That guy was great. Let's go on a little field trip. Don't know if the camera's gonna work well or not. But I have a question for you folks. Do any of you guys have to rob the battery out of one project for another project? I seem to have to do that more often than not. But conveniently, this one's not terrible to get out. It is heavy though. You can see all that full-figured Chevrolet. Whew. Slide this up in here. You know, the battery cables in this little thing is not dirty either. Not really. Considering the age that it is. Nice and tight with my channel locks. Ooh, look at that. The under the hood light just come on. That's pretty cool. This little thing might be a cream puff. If you were going to name one of these things, this one being green, it's not really a cream puff. Let's fall off on the inside and see what the key does. Open the door. Roll the window down so everyone can see. All of the dome lights are coming on. That's crazy. You don't see that? Keys left on. Oh no, somebody left it on. Generator and oil light was on. Wonder if the radio's gonna work. Ooh, it's gooey. Look. That's kind of gross. Well, that's cool. It's on FM. We're gonna have to go get some brake cleaner. We're gonna cut that gooey thing off. Pull it. Ooh, the headlight switch is gooey too. Headlights come on. I wonder if hazards work. That's a good sound. Cigarette lighter. Cigarette lighter is actually not the original one for this car. But I can tell you what that is. That's for a 63 Impala. And the reason I know that, because my car had this exact one in it. Oh, that's awesome. Well, wonder if the key, make sure that thing's in park, because we had that happen before. Just gonna bump it. That's a good sign. That is a really good sign. So I want to go up under the hood now, and I want to check out the carburetor and the fuel system and the ignition system, and then we're going to see what to do next. Oh, I do want to see Gas gauge, see what it does. It don't do nothing. It stays in that 3/8 of a tank. No, yeah, 3/8 of a tank. Cinder must be bad. That means it could be slapped full of gasoline and it's all tarnished out. Or it could be empty and just bad and full of grime and garbage and nonsense. Let's check out under the hood first. First order of business is getting all them germs off of my hands from them gooey switches. Ugh, that was so nasty. Oh, that was so bad. You know what that stuff is? It's oils and boogers and eye juice and ugh. Yeah, bad decisions. Whew. All right. Let's see. Man, that is nasty. I'm gonna show you guys this first. This fella painted this air cleaner with what looks like acrylic paint. It's all crunchy. Kind of gross. Let's see. Golly. Well, luckily for me, I have some channel locks. It's not very often you have to use a pair of pliers to take a wing nut off. You know what? Sitting there taking this off. Sure is nice being all backlit with that fancy engine accessory like. Yeah, so I figured the stud would screw out of it. So let's get that air cleaner off of there. What kind of sound that thing makes? Heck, it don't might accidentally just take fuel. Let's go ahead and take that cap off. I bet it's not going to be very good. Cap looks old. And this one was that. Ooh, that ain't that bad. It really isn't. Just see if we can see in there. You look in there on those electrodes. Usually they're all flaky. That one's really not all that bad. It has some corrosion, but I bet she'd crank up. Points. It's got another one of them stupid ones with a condenser built onto it. You can tell because back there in the back side of it, it's got the stud. So, I say let's just see if she'd crank up. Yep, we're just gonna see if this dude will fire up. For the sake of what if. You know what I mean? Granted, to take her down the road and get to run optimal, tune-up probably would be in order. Sometimes you can get them fired up and they'll run fine in the beginning, and then everything kind of starts to deteriorate and not run as well. And then you need to do a tune-up, and next thing you know, it's purring like a kitten again. So now I'm gonna walk back here to the back of the car, and I'm going to have to open the door because I didn't push it in the shop far enough. I want to open the gas tank up and just sniff it. See how horrible it is. Let me hold this thing up. Take that cap off. Ish. Cap's pretty clean. You know what's funny? Because that stuff just smells like gasoline. It don't really. Well, it's kind of old. Not terribly old. I've got some aviation fuel. I think I'm going to dump some avgas in it. Yep, a couple of gallons of avgas. And see if it'll run all that old junky stuff. What can it do? Not run? Gonna dump, I don't know, about 4 gallons worth in there. That ought to be enough. Oh yeah, gotta get my cap. Whew. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get it. Onto the front. Now I really don't like pouring just fluids into a drink bottle, because I heard horror stories of people grabbing bottles and taking a swig out of something gnarly in it, and that's just recipe for getting somebody hurt. So I'm cutting the top out of one of these old cans, but luckily I think this one is for doing exactly this. It's V8 plus energy. We need that to happen on this whole thing. Let me go get a shot of that Petro. So it's kind of got a clear bluish hue to it. On these old Q jets, or 2 jets, on the front passenger side, there is a port you can pour gasoline or the fluid into, and that fills up the bowl. Hopefully when we actuate this throttle, we'll hear something like nothing. I'm gonna climb up in there and look. See if I see anything. Ah, rookie, let's open it. Oh, it's actually squirting. Put a little more in there. Alrighty. Hold that and hopefully. Yep, I see that. That front pump's working. Awesome. We may not have to rebuild it to start her up. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We poured a little fuel in it. We're gonna just slide off in this ride, see what happens. Hoping all goes well. That's not well. Bet you the points are all down in it. That wasn't supposed to sound like that. She's purling over. Stupid points. This is one of the reasons why a lot of folks dislike points. Time to take the distributor apart. I got these things out, and you can definitely tell that they are funky. You can tell by that contact in there. It's all white. See if you can see it. See right in there. We're going to have to take this little file set, clean her up, and that probably get her going. Let's see here. Hopefully they won't crumble like one of them other cars we worked on in the past. I probably ought to just keep a set of these laying around for instances like today. Or maybe I should be better prepared. It's working. Save a few bucks, I guess. Times is hard. Points are expensive. No, they're not. $10, 15. Buy them off Rock Auto for like $4, but then you have $13 in shipping. And take a week to get them. Once that's cleaned up, a couple more minutes, we'll be in good shape. Just kind of let it do its thing. Sit here and think about life, think about good things, think about where you're going, thinking about places you want to see, places you want to go, and people you want to see. I have a few places I want to go. I've been told a few places to go. Shoot, I think that's good. I think we can drop them dudes back in there. Give it a go. Since them things were set before, I'm going to put it back together, put the rotor back on, and I'm going to see if it'll start. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Put that rotor on. That rotor's a little funky. Just scratch it up here on this big hunk of metal. It's brass. That's one of them old school ones. Ah, why are you doing that? You got a file, cuz. Man, that don't take much to get that brightened up, the brass. Good job, Tom. Now, if you're wondering, why am I doing minimal work on this thing? My thought process is, when I bought this car, it was at an auction, and I won the auction. They didn't really have much they knew about the car, except for it had been parked for a long time. And so I wound up buying it, like I said. And then when I bought the car, we were getting ready to load it. Called a friend of mine to come over and pick it up for me on the rollback and all that jazz. The neighbor come over, and he asked, because he saw me standing beside that car, if I bought it. I said, yeah, sure. Next thing you know, he walks off and he's talking to the lady. He's like, yeah, I should have bought that old car. It's a pretty good old car. But, the reason he parked it, the motor was bad in it. So then I was like, dadgummit, I just bought a car and the motor's bad. I don't want to put a motor in that car. It don't mean that much to me. As we're like sitting there, he then, as he's walking away even further, he goes, but man, them old 327s are good motors. It'd probably be worth pulling it out and fixing it. So in that moment, I said, this idiot don't know what the heck he's talking about. Because one, this car doesn't have a 327 in it. It's got a 400 small block. So I think he was just talking to impress his wife. Like, I should have spent money, but I didn't. I did you a favor, but let me impress you. The motor could be bad. That could be the reason why this guy parked it. Or it could not be bad. It could be just the old car. He didn't want to sell it because it belonged to his mom. So he just parked it. If this thing fires up, runs well, then we can spend a little money on it. Right now, we're just kind of really just tinkering. Kind of the condition of those cap and all on it. It looked like it had a tune-up relatively soon, like it didn't have or not long ago, or before it was parked. Get a giant stack of papers and receipts with this car. Probably go through those and see where or when it had its servicing. Well, cool. Let's try it again. Another shot of gas. Let's see what happens. Holy cow. Start it up. Let's just see what it does. Whoa. It ran out of gas. We need some more for there. That's freaking nuts. Pour a little more. Set this over here. Let's see what happens. Ooh, we're gonna need a starter. Come on. Maybe it'll pick the fuel up. Just gonna let it sit there and do its thing. Now this is kind of dangerous pouring gas in the carburetor with it running. That thing was a burp, backfire through. That's gonna explode. This is awesome. Pretty cool. Do a quick little walk around with this dude. When I went to get gas, it blew a bunch of soot out of it. And I bet you we rev this thing up, oh, it'll start puffing a bunch of junk out of it. Walk around here, aren't any lights or nothing on. Oh, motor sounds good. It's at 327, boys. Woo! Heck yeah. I didn't look to see if it had any coolant in it. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. Old car sounds actually pretty nice. Starting to get a little heat in it. You can see it starting to burn all the oil and stuff off the valve covers, or not valve, exhaust manifolds. Down here, got that good green looking antifreeze. Ain't nothing moving. We got to kind of pay attention to that. The thermostat might be stuck. Motor's still cold. Choke's starting to work on it. This is pretty cool. This old car has been sitting, hadn't run in 20 plus years. You guys saw what we did. Really, we just cleaned the points on it, poured a little gas in it, and it works. That's what's kind of nice about these old simple Chevys, man. And I'm sure the Fords and the Dodges are kind of the same way, but I didn't have to do much. I really didn't. It's kind of a trick on some of these old cars you find. If you can find one that hasn't been messed with, you know, it's just been dormant. You can tell, like, it's got all the factory stuff still in place. Yeah, somebody put a little heater hose protector over here. But really, this is the kind of car you want. You can do a little bit of work, fix the brakes on it, probably rebuild the carburetor, tune up. Next thing you know, shine this puppy up. You got you a going to town car. Church car, whoever, man. Find you a lady, pull her close beside you in that big old bench seat. Shoot. You can have yourself a good time. Uh-oh. Thermostat starting to open. We need to grab a jug. We gotta grab a big old container. That thing's gonna start puking antifreeze. Yep. See, got this big thing. We'll run over here. We're gonna make a big gnarly mess in my shop. That's a little mess. Whoop. You puke. Puke in there. It's gonna bubble a little bit until that thermostat opens. That's kind of a good sign. Sure like to see that thing open up. Speaking of open up, our thermostat, or our choke flap's done opened up. Got a couple little bubbles. That just means that thing's barely cracking open. Here in a second, it should like open up. There it went, I think. Maybe. Oh yeah. Put a light in there. Starting to draw a little in. Big old white boogery thing. Ugh. It'll be fine. Go ahead and put my cap back on there. Rah, rah, rah. This thing acts like it's got a vacuum leak now. Yep. I wonder if that booster's bad. Trying to see if there's any cracks in there. Look at there, idling right along. I'm gonna pull this back up. Look at that thing. We're gonna check that booster just in case. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Little leany. Come on, stay ready. I want to see. Pull this back out. Catch it. Could be the tune, could be the dwell, could be the carburetor. We're gonna plug this back in there. We're gonna close that flap. That'll keep it idled up a little bit. I want to see if we can blow some soot out of it. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. We got a problem. Okay, we're gonna have some big body confessions. I'm totally surprised, totally stoked that this thing cranked and ran as well as it did. Yeah, right there at the end, it did kind of backfire, but what it sounded like was either the carburetor was running out of fuel, or it's gumming up. Fuel pump could be going bad, or it could be drawing some of that nasty gas in. I don't know, but I am going to rebuild the carburetor and I am going to give it a tune-up. So I don't have them parts with me. So I'm going to have to get those. I'm also going to fix the brakes because I don't want to chance it. And for about $200-300, you can put a new master cylinder, calipers, and wheel cylinders and hoses on this thing. And then that basically takes care of the brakes. And that means it's safe. So yeah, this is pretty sweet. So we got to get some parts and then we're going to drive us a Chevrolet. Got some good news, got some bad news. Good news is, got my kit. Bad news is, I forgot the carb cleaner, so we're gonna have to use some brake cleaner. It's not a deal breaker. You can't have everything, right? Yep. I should have broke that loose before I took that carburetor off, but sometimes in getting a hurry, y'all know what I mean. Smells like gasoline. Really and truly, that thing's not that dirty. That's a good sign because it was running as long as it was. If it had any dirt and debris and funk and all that jazz, it should be crammed up into that filter. Sometimes you can also look into this bore and see if there's debris in there, and this one's really clean. All we're really going to do with this thing is like spruce it up on the inside. Make sure there's no big chunks of nothing floating around in it. We'll end up putting a new seal on the front pump, which is the squirter, so whenever you actuate the throttle, it goes quack. This one was working, as you guys excuse me, I really have to apologize for my cough, guys. But kind of had one for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and it's kicking my butt. I'm getting tired of it. So good old healthy shot of huffing some gasoline should wipe her right out if all goes well. I'm just kind of all willy-nilly snatching this thing apart. You know, a lot of times people get all like nervous and stuff with them. And I get it because it's got all them little pieces in it. It's also pretty satisfying whenever take one of these things down, put a kit in them, and they run better. Kit's not usually all that expensive. Don't take a whole lot of time, a couple hours maybe. The joys of working on an old car. Also, remember being a little guy, my nose stuck right over here looking into these things when my old man was taking these things apart. Just oodling at these things like, man, that's so interesting. Now, if you are taking one of these things apart for your first time, there's nothing wrong with kind of setting this stuff out in kind of like a chronological order. As you take it apart, put parts associated with each other in the same location, or even setting you a piece of cardboard out and identifying each one of them parts as you take them off. It's all up to you. Pictures are also super helpful. Yep. I have taken photos of stuff that you're like, man, why are you taking a photo of it at that thing at that angle? And it saved your butt. All right, oftentimes it is handy to take some photos of your linkages. So them things only go on one way, and sometimes they can technically go on more than one way, but they don't operate right. So just having that as a reference so you can be like, oh yeah, see, that's where it's at. Y'all got any of them? Stupid stink bugs. Apparently that and the throttle junkie. He was all hanging out like carburetor. Okie dokie. Now we're finally ready to pull this top plate off. And that's going to tell us what's going on inside this carburetor. Look in there, folks. Y'all see all that? Man, y'all look at that. You see all that funk in there? I'm actually like, that's a bunch of settlement. That may have been what happened. Some of that junk may have come loose. See it all in there? That's kind of normal, but it ain't what you want. So we're going to have to get that little thing out of there, get the spring out of there, take this off of here. It'll be fine. Yeah. Don't that look expensive? I think it was loose. I ain't supposed to be loose. Should be a little BB in there. Did the BB? Yeah, the BB come out. See what I'm talking about? This a little insert from in there. We got a little T we got to pull out right there. This is a little T I was talking about. Then there's a spring, little bitty spring, and another BB in there. Yep. Okay. Now let's flip this dude over. There's 3 little screws you got to take out. You don't really have to worry about getting these mixed up with the other ones. They're bigger. And that comes off. We got a gasket. I really try to not tear these up when I take them apart because you'll have to match them up. Sometimes in a kit, you'll have 3 or 4 different ones. That's kind of weird. That was like 2 gaskets on there. Or at least that one. That was weird. Shoot, there's another gasket. That is way crazy. Somebody didn't take this thing. Somebody's done put a kid in this thing. It ain't supposed to have 3 gaskets. 2, 3. That's nuts. Joys of working on stuff that other people's worked on. Now let's give her a bath. And we'll do a quick little scrubby. We're not getting crazy with this thing. You guys see, this is boring. Let that marinate for a little bit. And here you definitely want to scrub a dub. Get all that nastiness out of there. And there it don't really much matter. So that's kind of the throat of it. That's where the air comes in, flows through into the engine. We do have to get the little jets out of here. Got it. Dump them out. Let's just kind of rinse her up. I need one of them tubes. It is handy having one of them straws on there, because you get to see that the stuff is flowing like it's supposed to. Some of them are screw holes. If you're not sure, you just stick it in there and see what happens. Kind of like in here where I screwed them jets out of there. Stuff flowing through it. You also have the little old port. Jeez Louise. I'm going to go ahead and just clean this thing up, not bore y'all to death. Then we can start putting her together. Alrighty, now we're pretty much ready to start putting this thing back together. Don't that sound like fun? We got a bunch of pieces strewn every which way, but we'll get it. Yep, we will get it. Set out some of these gaskets. We don't need them for a minute. We'll grab our little baggie of our needle and seat. Nice and easy. Don't want to cross thread nothing. It's in there. Good and snug. I'll go ahead and drop the needle in. Get it out of my way. Now we are going to need the top plate, but we only have one top plate. Like I told you guys earlier, it's a good idea to kind of match them up. Make sure you got the right kit for the right carburetor. And put my gasket on it. Yep. And then float and a needle. Can jiggle it a little bit. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Tell me, who do you love? Come on. Very tedious. Just a little bit more. Got it. Then we have our little seal. This is the pump, if you will. Used to, back in the days, they'd give you one. Nowadays, all they give you is the little seal to rebuild it. This little tool is supposed to go over there so you can stretch it over it and it falls over, and then you got to make sure to put this little spring in there into the cup like so. That helps to push that bellow out so that it seals against the bore inside of the carburetor. Boop. That easy. Pump's built. Okay. Now, what do you say? Let's put one gasket on. Looks like it goes like so. So we'll take this thing, flip it over, set this one on here, and then this thing like here. These big old Phillips headed screws. Yeah, right here. They're bigger than the other one, so it's hard to misplace them. Get all 3 of them started first, and then you can cinch them down. These have been known to work loose for whatever reason. A lot of times if you got a carburetor 2-barrel on a car and it's running, you can grab the fuel line and wiggle it from driver side to passenger, and you'll see that top part of that carburetor move a little bit. And it's because these 3 screws are loose. Now we got our big old plunger thing we need to put back in there. It should have a new seal. Whoa! That's one thing you don't want to do is drop and lose in these pieces. Well, we're just going to reuse that sealer washer in there. And we're going to put in our little jets. Now, if you're rebuilding a carburetor, the thing that's always a good idea is to look in there and make sure both of them, you can see through them. If they're stopped up, that's a problem. Sometimes it's easier just to drop them and then take your screwdriver and kind of flick them around till they find their home. And sometimes it ain't. There we go. Okay. Our BBs. Let's find our BBs. You serious? This kid? Oh, they're right there. Things say, I thought this thing didn't come with the BBs. It's got one big one and one little one. I would speculate that one won't fit in the other one's hole. Ooh, caught it. The big one's gonna go in there. Maybe? That almost don't look right. I'm ready to go in the other hole, in the T-hole. Oh! Yep. That looks more better. And if you remember, in there it had the little bitty spring. We'll drop that in there. And then it comes with a new T normally. This one's chrome. Yeah. For the ladies. Started it. And then take another one. Wedge her down off in there. Yep. Take our little BB. Drop it in our jet. Or not our jet, our pump bore. Need our plastic pieces. Feel like I'm in a cooking show. A little dash here, a little dash there. Next thing you know, it's all spicy. We took off our little kit, or a gasket that come off of this thing. So we have 3 different ones here. Now with this thing already somebody working on it, there's a chance that they may have put the wrong one on it. If you're curious, you usually don't want to block any of the passages. That one blocks one little indentation, but there's nothing in there. So I would speculate that that's the one we would need. And that's the same one that come off of it. So that looks good. So, another little thing. These little flutes, in a way, have known to vibrate out. So I usually take a little screwdriver and just kind of tap them to make sure that they're in there. Sometimes you'll take a carburetor apart and these things will be inside of there, and you'll just have to put them back in there, tap them into place. Those were flat bladed screws. Flat, flat, not right. Flat, not right. Because that's the long flat, that's the short flat, and then that's the long flat. It's all coming back to me now. Again, start them and then cinch them down. And usually start in the center to get it snug, then work out. These are screws. That goes in something else. That goes over here, goes into there. Keep that right there. Floats on there. We need to set the float. Yep, that should do it now. Awesome. Guess we're ready to put this dude together. Man, yeah. Put that dude over. Kind of a process. Kind of got to fiddle it. All is right. Now we'll put a couple of these screws back in here. Whoop. Wrong one. Throwing stuff. Shouldn't be so violent, huh? Simmer down now. Excited. Got things to do. Cars to rev up. This old carburetor looks pretty rough, don't it? Really does. Looks pretty crummy. As long as it runs well, that's all we need. I'm missing a screw. Found it. Torque the spec. I guess I'm supposed to start making the sounds like. Whew. Alright. We need one of these little bitty R pins. I'm going to use the factory one instead of using one of them Chinese ones. And then now I gotta put the choke lever thing ish back up here, spin it around, contort it, if you will. Funky little screw, which is the pain one to get in. It's not impossible, but it's a little tricky. It's probably somebody somewhere could be like, all you need to do is blah, 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 blah. You could tell me. I'd probably slow down long enough to study it and I could figure it out, but we'll get it. Just like we did right then. See? That could be the correct procedure. Now, choke pull off. This is what I was talking about. That should go this way. And this maybe goes this way. And then maybe this goes. Yeah. Sure. Just like that. 2 screws. Man, we're almost there. This thing's dangerously close to going on. Luckily, this wasn't nearly as complicated as that last Rochester 4-barrel that we had to cram a big 1-inch drill bit through. That was an exciting time. One of them times, though, worst thing you can do is fix it. Oh, yeah, I appreciate all you folks out there that called me an idiot. Said I was doing it wrong. It's all good. Can't make everybody happy. Oh, yeah. I fixed that carburetor. That's all right. This is so much fun. It don't look good. It ain't very pretty. But it's gonna work. It's gonna run way better than it did. Put the new fuel filter in there. I always like to go make sure they're clean. And you want to make sure that you put the hole out because it's got to be filled up through that hole. Also, a little tip for you. Sometimes in these carburetor kits, you'll get a little red kind of paper gasket or you'll get a metal one. This one's a bit more forgiving because it's thicker and let's call it squishier. So it seems to seal a little better than that crushed style on that aluminum. You don't have to crank down on it nearly as hard. That's all it needed. Now, put this thing on. Now, for the sake of doing the brakes, I'm going to just do the brakes and I'm going to work and I'm going to talk to you guys. A lot of times, watching somebody do this kind of work isn't the most elaborate, the most sexiest because it's stupid brakes. However, I thought this could be an opportunity for some story time from the days of TV land. You guys know that I've worked on the television show and worked there a long, long time. You know, sometimes during that amount of, or that kind of period that, you know, accidents happen, you know, and things don't really get talked about much. So, first thing we're going to talk about, pulling the wheels off back there kind of is what triggered this, if you will. Way back when, we built a car for a guy that you may know. His name is Not going. Dana White.
Holy.
You may recognize that name because he like owned or started the UFC. Now with that, they partnered, the company I worked for, they partnered with them and built a 71 CUDA Project Street Fighter. Yep, that thing was a bad mama jama. We put old school big 440 in it. This is harder. Big old 440 like I was talking about. No, I'm sorry, not a 440. Had a Hemi in it. Yeah, it had a Hemi. We were out doing the payoff. Payoff, what that is, once you build the car, you know, you go out and you kind of enjoy it some. What happened was our director producer, they instructed us to drive by on this dead end road, to drive by the camera. So that's what we did. And I hadn't been working there long. And so when we drive by, she says, yeah, guys, that's just not really, we need you to come by a little faster. I remember looking at my co-host and was like, dude, you realize how fast we was going? He said, yeah, man, I know. I said, so we go faster? That's what she said. That is what we do. We crank this thing up a little faster. And by a little faster, we're about 70. As we go about faster, they go, it really didn't look right. We need you guys to do it again. And this time, like, bring it, like, go faster. So I remember looking at my co-pilot and or co-host with me going, seriously? He said, that's what they said. So that's what we do. So when we come by this time, we're 100 plus mile an hour or so. As we pass the camera, you're not going to believe what happens. The car kind of starts doing this weird shake. And so I get in the brakes real hard. I let off and it comes down quick. And then I look out the driver's side mirror and it looks like somebody took like a handful of something chrome and threw it out sideways. And what that was, it was the lug nuts to the left rear tire. And then all of a sudden, as we're getting, that thing's coming to a stop, you feel the car lift, and then it sits down on the ground, and it's going grinding, and you're just like, holy cow. And then I look to the left, and there goes the wheel passing us, and it runs up and almost goes into the interstate from where we were at. Everybody's freaking out. Everybody's like, oh God, you messed the car up, you did this, you did that. And I'm thinking, I didn't mess the car up. I wasn't the one thing that come off and got run over. Guy sitting in the car with me, he's just like, man, that was pretty cool. You stayed calm there. And I said, dude, I get it. I said, dude, it happened so fast, but I just knew something wasn't right. So I got in the binders. And what had happened was when the wheel come off the car, it kind of ran over the tire, if you will, and it mashed the quarter panel up inside of that car and kind of folded it in, dented it up. And that car had this graphite, silvery, dark color metallic paint on it. And then it had that billboard graphic on the side of it that was done to simulate carbon fiber. We wound up having to redo all that. They didn't want to run it through insurance for none of that obvious reasons. And also, that car was supposed to leave that afternoon or the next day to go west. It was going to one of the UFC fights to be displayed with our company and their company, and this thing sitting there, and it couldn't go because it was broken. Life and times of things that you really don't get to see on TV. I know. I need to get back to work here instead of just jawing and talking and all that kind of nonsense. But I'm going to go ahead and take care of the brakes here. And I'm sure you don't want to watch me put calipers and hoses on because brakes is not exciting. So I'm going to get these taken care of and the wheel cylinders back there. And then we'll be able to do the next thing.